Hello everybody, it's been a while since I've done a video on the truck. Today I'm going to go over kind of how I took apart this front air dam or air valance, however you want to call it. I am getting a CJC off-road intercooler guard that should be coming in the mail tomorrow. This is the 6.7 liter turbo diesel engine. I don't know if it's the same for the 6.4 gassers. I know that there's a little bit more room behind the bumper with the gassers because that's why you can get a winch from the factory with the Power Wagon. But taking this off is relatively easy up until you get to this guy here and this guy here, which is gonna roughly align with that little notch there and notch there. Everything is a 10 mil bolt on these retention clips. You will need a flathead screwdriver because there is a pressure retention clip here as well as here. And if you take your time and do it carefully, you actually won't break anything, and you can actually sell this part to someone who may need it in your local area. So I have all the clips, everything has been retained. I did take my time, and it was kind of a pain with here and here. The new Milwaukee stubby is an absolute beast. I highly recommend getting that. 550 foot-pounds of torque on that guy. But coming up underneath the truck, see if I back up a little bit for you, you can see there are some holes right here. There should be 4 on this side. The difficult one is here, as well as right here. 4 more, and then there's 1, 2, 3 right here behind the license plate mounting holes, and those ones are actually pretty easy to get to because you can just put your hand up through this guy and access it. So my advice for removing the difficult ones, because as you can see, take my little stubby, I can fit it up and around where that bolt would be, but there's not enough room behind this bumper bracket to actually get a socket in there, and they don't make an adapter that will fit. So what I did was I sprayed some WD-40 on this part and up in here, and the way these clips work is they actually slide in. So as you can see on the bumper, there are cutouts. It's almost notched. So if you can get it slippery enough, you may be able to just apply enough pressure to kind of pull them out from their location. And then once they're out, what I did was I just took the bare 10 mil bolt or socket. I put it up there with one hand, held onto it, and took a pair of pliers and twisted that metal piece. So I actually unthreaded it from the metal piece. And because you put WD-40 on that, if the WD-40 gets on the threads, it makes it real easy to take off. So these plastic retention ports are also connected to that as well. I'm not quite sure yet if I can take this off once I get the CJC mount, but I know it mounts up to the back of the snowplow bracket. Again, being a diesel, it is going to have a pretty big intercooler that does hang down a little bit, and that's why taking this off may be a little bit more difficult for the diesel guys. But as you can see, those holes right there and right there align with this guy and with this guy. So I'm going to do a update video tomorrow on installing the metal intercooler guard, so stay tuned. All right, so now that the front valance is off, the CJC intercooler guard has been installed. Living in Michigan, it is getting very cold out here in late November, so I installed a NOCO plug port for the engine block heater. It's a 2-inch circle. So what I did was I drilled a pilot hole. I measured from this guy to this lip is 7.5 inches, I believe. And then from top to bottom is 6.5. So I put it in the exact center. I did want it on the right side. You can get them, put them on the left side. You can do 2. They make like I think they make like a 15 or 20 foot extension. So if you want to come to the back and you back your truck in, you actually make it so that way you can put it, you know, like right here. And if you got a brake controller, obviously, whatever side is free, you can just put it right there, which is pretty cool. But I went with this guy up front. Pretty easy. I'd use the Milwaukee Bulldozer 2-inch drill bit to get this guy out. Then I took a file and kind of deburred everything and got it all nice and smooth. Then I threw some paint on there to protect against corrosion. And then I surprisingly didn't need to do any pilot holes for these self-tappers. These self-tappers are very, very strong. There's a gasket, as you can see right here. And then this just pushes up and in to protect the electrical connection. And taking a step back, it does look really nice, even on the side right here. Looks really, really nice. But yeah, so that was about it. I will be linking the plug in the description below. If you do buy it on my Amazon storefront, it does help out the channel. Let's take a look and see if it functions properly. It is kind of a pain in the butt. I did get the 16-inch one, and I ran it behind the intercooler mount over to the plug, which actually was like more over here on the passenger side. There's just a little bit of slack. I don't know if you're gonna see that on camera, but it's right behind there. There's a little plastic retainer clip holding the slack up underneath the bumper. So if you want more slack, you'll have to take away that plastic retainer clip. So let's go outside and see if it works. All right, so as you can see, we're outside now. Looks like the diesel plug is on, indicated by the amber light right there. Nice secure connection. I like this because in the off chance that I do somehow forget to take this off before I leave, it'll just pull right out, which is nice. I like that a lot. Real easy. Again, getting that connection back in there was kind of a pain in the butt. You kind of got to force your hands in between those slots right there. And I got pretty big hands, so that was kind of a pain in the butt. But overall, I'm very impressed with this. I think if you want to do it on your stock air valance, it'd actually be a little bit easier. You won't have to drill through metal. And there is a couple of spots you actually can do it that are flat. So over here, it can be done. Over here, it can be done. And you can actually do it right here in the middle of the stock air valance, if that's what you have. So again, that's the NOCO plug that I put on my CJC intercooler guard. Thanks so much and have a great day.